Hello. Um, Not a usual thing from me. A video instead of photographs. I'm not great at this stuff, so this has just been done on my phone in my hand. I don't have any equipment or anything like that. So I'm sorry. I'll try my best not to make you seasick. But I was tidying up the studio there. It happens rarely, but it happened today. And I found some stuff that I use often, and it made me curious and wonder, does all other potters, ceramicists, makers have odd tools that are their purpose is something else, but they found a use for it in pottery? So I gathered up my few bits and I said I'll show you. Like pottery tools are expensive. We don't always have the funds to buy them because glaze materials are so expensive. Clays, everything has gone through the roof. So some of this stuff might help somebody out, maybe not. But yeah, I'll show you quickly so I don't bore you to death. This is a simple thing and it's so helpful, and you can get them in different sizes. You can buy them singly or you can get a pack that will contain everything from 12 inches by 12 inches down to this one, which is 4 by 4. They're quilting squares, so they're used when you're cutting fabric, but they're so good for marking out, and they've so many different angles and lines that you can use. The degrees of an angle, the inches are broke down. It's just they've got good grid lines for following. If you wanted to mark the top and the bottom to get an even line. They're just so handy. I reach for this the whole time. Now I do have the full set, which I did buy for quilting, and this migrated into the studio. So, for little projects, it's perfect. Sorry, a bit of clay dust in my throat. As I was cleaning up, I disrupted some stuff. So I'm a bad potter. I should dampen down everything. So yeah, might be of use. This brand is not expensive. It's an Amazon purchase. I think the full kit came to 20 odd euro, but you can buy them individually. You don't need to go and buy the proper branded quilt company ones, because they can just go crazy in price. This is great for all little jobs. The next one I have is an odd one. I don't know if anyone remember these. You can still pick them up in like €2 shops and stuff. I think I got mine in pennies, but I got a pile of them. They're like little Velcro pieces, but they're used to hold your hair back when you're putting makeup on. But I use it for putting like texture into clay. If you want a very subtle texture on the surface of your clay, it'll give you that. It's not going to give you, texture that you'd get if you were using a scoring tool or anything like that. So just for gentle indentations, I find it great. I think they're there's a pack of them for 50 cents. So I use that. Very random, but yeah, works, does the job. Another one I use for if I'm wanting to make strips for handles or for pieces to attach to slabs of clay. It's one of those sweet corn things that you stick in the bottom of the sweet corn to eat, one each end. So I stole this one from the kitchen and I just pull the prongs apart. So when you have your clay, I think I have some here, but it's too, it's gone beyond leather hard. It's ready for recycling. I'm doing this one-handed. It's probably not a good demo. It's not macro, but let me see. There you go. It's an absolutely crap demo, but it gives you the idea. This is way too hard. But normally, if you get the optimal leather hardness in your clay, it will, it can go through it if it's really soft. But it can give you great guidelines on if you want to go in with the ruler. So you're not measuring as such. So you can set them further apart if you want, or closer together. Another item is this. I think I picked it up for €1. It was in the baking section. It's used for icing cakes and decorating, but I find it really handy if you're doing surface decoration on something circular. It's got measurements and marks that if you're wanting to do equal divisions on the circumference of a plate or a platter, It's perfect for that. And what you can do, it'll also fold up, so if you want small sections you can do your lines and stuff like that. I normally put a pin through so it holds it in the center of the slab of clay, but you can see there it's got different measurements. It's also got holes, so it's great for spacing out some symmetry on your pieces. So yeah, €1. I think it was Mr. Price I got it, but I'm sure any shop that does baking supplies will have it. Another one which I was surprised by, and I think these are still in pennies, and you get like a 2-pack for like $2.50. They're a sponge for washing your face. They've got this real texture kind of side here and this beautiful smooth side. As a makeup item, they're great, but they are the very same as the Mud Tools sponges. These guys here, who we all love and adore, like literally thought nothing, there's nothing like them, but they are expensive. And I had this in the bathroom and saw it one day and thought, hang on a minute, that reminds me of something. So brought it down and used it, and it does the job when you're throwing. Nice thickness to it as well, so you can kind of really, get in there and hold it. And it absorbs water really, really well. So for a cheaper alternative, don't trample each other, get into pennies, pick up some of these and give them a go. Yeah, accidental find, delighted with that. Another one it's the owl Nick comb. I've loads of dogs, so this comes in treatment for fleas and stuff, and it's great for scoring. And you can pick up different ones for like a couple of cents in the chemist, where the spacing will be slightly wider. This is quite a dense one. I have a collection of different size ones, so they work depending on the stage your clay is at. So yep, they're brilliant, really strong and sturdy. I've got Tom Hardy on the brain. Really strong, great tool. Yeah, so that's another one. And this one, now I did see a video for this years ago, and I wish I knew the source of it, but my memory it's really, really bad. So I'll show you here, but I'm sure if you do, I'll try and do a search and tag it, the maker or the inventor of this. This is an old measuring tape. You can probably see, inside, you can see the numbers there. It was a measuring tape that had broke, so kept the metal. Or was it a friend of mine maybe who suggested this? I think it was a friend of mine. And I bent it over and I left one of the ends curved, and I brought one into a point. And literally, this is just, duct tape. This was one of the special buys. They had them in different patterns in Aldi. So yeah, I went with the nice bright colours, but literally that's all it is. A broken piece of a metal measuring tape, bent and folded over, and then wrapped with a good thick layer for grip. And I'll show you some of the lines that you can get from it. So there you go. Now again, this clay is like really, really leather hard, so it's probably not the best to test. I'd say if I'd have got it a day or so before, it might have been better. The cuts would have been cleaner. But yeah, so I know some of those, what are they called? The cutting tools, carving tools can go up to crazy, like literally crazy prices. So it's a very good, cheap alternative. So that's another one there for you. And the last thing is, I make these out of leftover pieces, scraps basically of slabs of clay. And I cut them out with, the little kind of cookie cutters. And I put a hole in them because they seem to work better. I use these instead of these kiln furniture and saddle pins. So I'll fire these to bisque, and I'll make batches of them anytime I've leftover scraps from slabs. and fire them, and they work great. I just find they're more solid than, you know, these ones. I don't know what it is. I've had fails with these, and I've never had fails with these. So any leftover bits you have, cut away and give it a go. You know, it's waste. It's going into, well, it's not waste. It'll go and be recycled. But I don't know, there's something about, you've got more surface area on this to hold the piece along with some other ones, rather than it just kind of sitting propped on a fine pin. And I find these disintegrate over time, and these are expensive to buy as well. So yeah, random odd video, but maybe there's some bits there that will help some other potter clay people out there. So yeah, I'd love if you shared your unusual tools that you use in your studio. It's great for us to share these because it helps out other people a lot. Yeah, so I hope I didn't make you too seasick, and I will get back to posting pictures and not videos. Okay, have a good weekend. Take care. Bye.